Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone that's listening in here today, and especially if you're one of the Irish diaspora. You're far away from home at the moment. Your heart is yearning for a little piece of Ireland. Well, let me try and give it to you today in my own unique way. I just want to look at what is happening in Ireland today. Specifically, I want to look at a message that Antonishte Simon Harris has given, a gift, if you will, that he's given to the Irish people today and to the diaspora, the dispersed across the world. He's talking about how wonderful Ireland is and what a great contribution it makes to the world, and it does. It does, but he's also mixing in a lot of globalism in there and let's just say brushing some things under the carpet as well. So I just want to walk through a little promo video that he's made here and see what you think of it, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions as we go along.
Banachtaí na Féile Púraic ar of Galéir. Warm St. Patrick's Day greetings to Ireland's family, to Ireland's friends and to Ireland's diaspora all across the world.
There you go.
Our patron saint represents both Ireland's ancient history and our modern place in the world, having made our way to every corner of it.
We've made our way to every corner of the world, and it's worth remembering today that there's a lot of Irish people who are making their way across the world right now, not because of choice, they necessarily want to leave Ireland, but because they feel they have no choice but to leave Ireland to get a roof over their head or to get a job in somewhere that they feel is safe.
Streets across this globe will host parades which mark St. Patrick's Day, as they also mark the presence and the contribution of Irish communities and of Irish culture. St. Patrick's Day is more than just Ireland's national day. It's an opportunity to reflect on and to celebrate the long-lasting connections that we have forged in places far flung from our island and closer to home. Together we celebrate the values that unite us with our friends and our partners in the United Kingdom and the European Union, as well as with like-minded nations worldwide.
Friends and partners in the United Kingdom and the European Union. Friends and partners. Friends and partners.
Liberty, equality, opportunity, security. Liberty,
equality, opportunity, and security. Where's he talking about? Where's he talking about? Is he talking about Ireland? There's certainly a lot of opportunity in Ireland. Certainly a lot of opportunity. But for Irish people or for scammers that are flooding into the country, getting housing, getting free medical care, getting looked after, free education, opportunity, a lot of opportunity in Ireland. Yeah, that's why people are flooding here. Hundreds of thousands of people are flooding here every year.
Human rights, commitment to multilateralism and...
Human rights. What about people living in areas and they get a knock on the door, a leaflet through the post or a letter through the door. They say, hey, that area just across the street, that big green area, yeah, we're going to put a migrant camp in there. We're going to build an iPad centre in there. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. You can come out and protest all you like, granny, but we'll spray and beat you off the street because this is what we're going to do.
To international law, these are the principles we champion. We celebrate today with our diaspora, our ambassadors for Ireland, who in their everyday lives represent all that is good about Ireland.
Notice one thing. The Irish diaspora, when they go out from Ireland, do represent all that's good in Ireland wherever they go. They do represent what's good in Ireland where they go. They are ambassadors for Ireland, by and large. Can the same thing be said for those that are flooding into Ireland? Are they ambassadors for the places that they've came from? Do they represent the cultures and values of the places that they've came from? Yes. It should be a two-way street. But is it?
They embody the best of what Ireland stands for. An outward-looking nation.
An outward-looking nation. An outward-looking nation. Ireland should become an inward-looking nation. If Ireland is to survive, Ireland needs to become an inward-looking nation. Look at the way I've paused that video with Harris's face. That just sums him up. Look, Ireland, I have to move that along. Ireland needs to become an inward-looking nation, because while it's looking out, it's going to hell inside. And yes, there are large parts of Ireland that are doing just fine right now. Middle classes and the wealthy seem to be getting it good. House prices are going through the roof, but there's not enough houses being built. Young people are leaving in droves, not because they want to, but because they feel they have no other choice. They feel they don't have a future in Ireland, because Ireland is too busy looking out around the world, trying to forge relationships here, there and everywhere. Relationships for whose benefit? For the benefit of the people, or for the benefit of the like of this weasel, this globalist rat, Simon Harris? And it must be said, this is not party specific. The same thing can be said about Micheál Martin. The same thing can be said about Mary Lou. Same thing can be said about Paul Murphy. You name it. In that government, such a wretched bunch. So, should Ireland be outward looking, or should Ireland turn its attention inward to preserve itself?
And economy, a small country which plays its part and makes a big contribution.
A small country that plays its part and makes a big contribution. Yeah, look at the size of, for example, Africa. You could take Ireland and lift it up and drop it into somewhere like Africa and never find it again. It's so small, relatively speaking. And yet, this is just one example. The amount of people flooding into Ireland from African nations, from Middle Eastern nations, is crazy. It's unsustainable, completely unsustainable. So Ireland is a very small country, and it's doing its part. I would say it's doing way more than its part. Per head of capita, it's doing way more than its part. That's why Irish people are homeless. 15,000 plus Irish people are homeless, at least that we know about. 15,000 plus and growing. That's why house prices are going through the roof. That's why enough houses aren't being built. That's why GP services aren't what they should be. That's why people are finding difficult to find places for their children in school. That's why one school in Dublin in particular is on the verge of closing down because of a lack of funding. And yet Ireland can spaff money everywhere, hand over fist, you name it. It seems to go outward. What about going inward?
From this small island, the Irish have had such an extraordinary influence on every continent and have helped transform local communities with Irish art, culture, sport, music, literature, thereby weaving our ways around this world. On St. Patrick's Day, we celebrate the deep partnerships that Ireland has forged globally. These relationships in areas like business, research, culture and diplomacy are proof that our international collaboration enriches not only our own country, but all our global partners.
Enrichment. Talking about enrichment, and we're always being told that diversity is our strength, that we need to be culturally enriched. And I'm not against immigration, I'm not against migrants, not in any way, shape or form, because as it's rightly pointed out, there are Irish people at the moment all over the world working, integrating. They're doing it, but what are they bringing to the table where they go? Are they bringing skills? Are they bringing culture? Are they contributing to the economy of the places that they go to? Or are they going to sponge in other places? Are they going to leech? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Also reaffirm our commitment to values that guide our response to the challenges and the crises of our time, particularly in addressing the horrific conflicts that have destroyed so many lives.
Horrific conflicts destroying so many lives. I'd say the Irish government are destroying so many lives right now. This is hypocrisy of the highest order in the part of Simon Harris on Taoiseach, pontificating about global wars and events that are destroying lives. How many lives has he destroyed? Really? How many jobs has he shut down? How How many people has he contributed to being homeless? Look at the amount of people that are being attacked by savages that should never have been allowed access to Ireland in the first place, and yet people like him tell us that no one gets into Ireland unless they're vetted and it's safe and they're fingerprinted and we know who they are and what they're doing. Recent events would say otherwise. Again, do we not need to be inward looking rather than outward looking?
Our programme for government, agreed by our new Irish government, formed just a few weeks ago, recommits our country to these values and to further embracing our engagement with the world.
We don't need to embrace and engage with the world. We need to set our own house in order first. If you get on an airplane, you get a safety message. Safety message says in the event of a drop in cabin pressure, masks will fall down. Before you help anyone else out, this may sound selfish, but before you help anyone else out, you need to put your own mask on first. Otherwise, you'll be of no use to others. So I say, before anyone else is helped and we reach out to the world and extend handships and fling the doors open, roll out the red carpet, we need to set our own house in order first, do we not?
St. Patrick's Day, our engagement on the world stage will be the largest ever. 38 representatives of our state will travel to more than 90 cities in 42 countries. This is our opportunity to showcase Ireland as a country to come to visit, to live.
This is our opportunity to showcase Ireland as a place to come and visit, set against plummeting tourist numbers. Plummeting tourist numbers coming to Ireland. Questions being asked, is it safe? Is it safe to come to Ireland? Yes, it is. It's not a no-go zone. However, it's becoming increasingly dangerous and people are asking more questions now when you have messages being put out by foreign offices to say that if you come to Ireland, this was last summer, don't wear any jewellery that may identify you as being rich. Don't go out into certain parts at night. Jim O'Callaghan telling us that certain parts of Dublin aren't safe at certain times, despite the fact that Liar McEntee said last year Dublin is safe. So people have naturally got questions. But you have to keep your wits about you, more so now than maybe ever before.
To work, to study and to invest in. Together we celebrate the values that bind us, the culture that defines us, and the global citizenship that makes us all one people.
I'm surprised that they didn't introduce other cultural elements to this video. I'm surprised there's a lot of Irish dancing here. I'm surprised there's pictures of St. Patrick. I'm surprised there's a lot of green. I'm surprised there's a lot of Irish people in this promo video. Normally, when it comes to party political type broadcasts, they're very keen to emphasise the broad diversity in Ireland. Even on International Women's Day, they actually had women in the video. They didn't have any men pretending to be women in there. I'm surprised. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Global Ireland. So, there you have it. That's the message from Simon Harris today. What do you think? You can leave me your thoughts, comments, opinions and suggestions in the comments box below. And if you haven't done so, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to share the content wherever you like. Give it a thumbs up. Consider joining the channel. Support independent media. And I'm Rick Munn. No risk, no reward. And again, happy St. Patrick's Day.